In 2021, someone paid $69 million for a JPEG file you could right-click and save for free. Sounds insane, right? But behind that headline lies one of the most misunderstood and potentially transformative ideas in all of crypto. Let's decode NFTs together. Let's start with that awkward word, fungible. Something fungible is interchangeable. A $1 bill is fungible. Swap it for another dollar and you've lost nothing. Bitcoin is fungible too. One Bitcoin equals any other Bitcoin. A non-fungible token is the opposite. It's unique and can't be swapped one for one because each one is different. Think of it like a concert ticket. Every ticket looks similar, but yours has a specific seat, section, and date. It's not interchangeable with just any ticket. An NFT is a digital certificate of ownership recorded on a blockchain, proving you own a specific item, whether that's digital art, a game item, or even a real-world property deed. NFTs were created to solve a fundamental problem. How do you prove you own something digital when copying is effortless? Before NFTs, anyone could copy a digital file infinitely. NFTs introduce verifiable scarcity and ownership. In 2026, they matter because we're moving toward a digital-first world where owning things online is becoming just as meaningful as owning things offline. The NFT story begins earlier than most people think. In 2014, digital artist Kevin McCoy minted Quantum, widely considered the first NFT, on the Namecoin blockchain. But the real spark came in 2017 with CryptoPunks. 10,000 unique pixel characters given away for free on Ethereum. That same year, CryptoKitties, a game where you collected and bred digital cats, became so popular it clogged the entire Ethereum network. This proved NFTs could capture massive attention. Then came the technical foundation, the ERC 721 standard, which formalized how unique tokens work on Ethereum. The explosion arrived in 2021 when Beeple's collage sold for $69 million at Christie's auction house, and brands, celebrities, and sports leagues rushed in. NBA Top Shot let fans own video highlights. Then reality hit. The 2022 crash wiped out most speculative NFT value. Many projects vanished, but the survivors matured. By 2026, NFTs have evolved from get-rich-quick collectibles into practical tools for ownership, identity, and utility. The hype died, but the technology quietly kept building something durable. So how does an NFT actually work? Let's break it down step by step. First, someone creates a digital item, an image, video, or file. This gets minted, meaning a record is permanently written onto a blockchain like Ethereum. That record is a smart contract, which is just self-executing code. The contract stores a unique token ID plus metadata, details describing what the NFT represents and where the file lives. Here's a key point that surprises beginners. The actual image usually isn't stored on the blockchain itself because that's expensive. Instead, the blockchain stores a pointer, often using a decentralized storage system called IPFS. Think of it like a library card catalog. The card doesn't contain the whole book. It tells you exactly where the book sits and confirms it belongs to the library. When you buy an NFT, the blockchain updates to show your wallet address as the new owner. This transfer is public, permanent, and can't be faked. Anyone can verify the ownership history called provenance, going all the way back to the original creator. That transparency is the entire magic. What actually makes NFTs special? First, verifiable ownership. The blockchain gives you cryptographic proof you own something specific. No middleman, no forgery. Second, provenance. You can trace an NFT's entire history, who created it, who owned it before, and every sale price along the way. For collectibles and art, that authenticity is priceless. Third, programmability. This is where NFTs get clever. Creators can code royalties directly into the smart contract, meaning an artist automatically earns a percentage every time their work resells, forever. That's impossible in traditional art markets. Fourth, interoperability. An NFT you own can potentially move across different apps and games, since it lives on an open blockchain rather than a company's private database. Fifth, true digital ownership. When you own an in-game item as an NFT, the game company can't simply delete it or lock you out. It's yours in your wallet. For everyday users, this means you're no longer just renting digital goods from corporations. You genuinely own them, can sell them freely, and carry them wherever the technology allows. That's a meaningful shift in power. Let's move beyond the hype and look at what NFTs actually do today. Gaming is the biggest driver. Games like Gods Unchained and various Web3 titles let players truly own their cards, characters, and items, then trade them for real value outside the game. Digital identity is emerging too, with NFTs serving as verifiable credentials, diplomas, or memberships. Event ticketing is huge. Companies use NFT tickets to eliminate counterfeiting and control scalping, since every ticket's ownership is transparent. Luxury brands like Nike, through its RTF-KT acquisition, and Gucci have used NFTs for digital physical product pairing and proof of authenticity. In music, artists sell NFTs that grant fans backstage access, unreleased tracks, or royalty shares, creating direct relationships without record labels. Even real estate is experimenting, property deeds tokenized as NFTs to speed up transfers and reduce paperwork fraud. Domain names like those on the Ethereum name service are NFTs, replacing long wallet addresses with simple names. The pattern is clear. Wherever proving unique ownership or authenticity matters, NFTs offer a solution. The speculative art frenzy grabbed headlines, but the utility use cases are what's quietly enduring. Now, for the honest part, NFTs carry serious risks. First, illiquidity. Unlike Bitcoin, you can't instantly sell most NFTs. You need a buyer willing to pay, and many NFTs are now worth a fraction of their purchase price. Countless 2021 buyers are deeply underwater. Second, scams are everywhere. Fake collections, phishing links that drain your wallet, and rug pulls, where creators hype a project, take the money, then disappear, are shockingly common. Never click suspicious links or connect your wallet to unknown sites. Third, you don't always own what you think. Buying an NFT often gives you the token, not the copyright to the underlying art. Read the terms carefully. Fourth, storage risk. If the file lives on a centralized server that shuts down, your NFT could point to nothing. Fifth, regulatory uncertainty. Governments are still deciding how to treat NFTs for taxes and securities law, which could change the landscape. Finally, hype-driven emotion. Beginners chase trending projects and buy at the top. Remember, most NFTs will end up worthless. Treat them as high-risk speculation, never money you can't afford to lose. Ready to explore NFTs safely? Here's your practical roadmap. First, learn before you spend. Spend a few weeks reading, watching, and observing communities before buying anything. Second, set up a crypto wallet. MetaMask is the most popular for Ethereum-based NFTs, downloaded only from the official website. Consider a hardware wallet like Ledger for extra security if you plan to hold valuable items. Third, fund it. You'll need some Ethereum to buy NFTs and cover gas fees, the transaction costs on the network. Fourth, choose a reputable marketplace. OpenSea, Blur, and Magic Eden are the largest and most trusted. Fifth, start tiny. Buy a low-cost NFT just to learn the mechanics of connecting, purchasing, and transferring. Treat it like tuition, not investment. Safety tips. Never share your seed phrase with anyone. Bookmark official sites to avoid fakes, and double-check contract addresses. Research a project's team, roadmap, community activity, and whether it offers real utility. If a project promises guaranteed returns, run. The goal early on isn't profit. It's understanding how digital ownership actually works. Master the basics first. Where are NFTs heading? The speculative bubble is behind us, and that's actually healthy. The future is about utility, not hype. Expect NFTs to become invisible infrastructure. You'll use them without even realizing it. Concert tickets, product warranties, and memberships may all quietly run on NFTs. Gaming will keep pushing adoption, with major studios cautiously integrating true digital ownership as players demand it. Real-world asset tokenization is a massive frontier. Property, luxury goods, and collectibles represented as NFTs to unlock faster, fraud-resistant transfers. We'll also see NFTs merge with digital identity. Imagine verifiable credentials for your qualifications or reputation that you fully control. Improvements in blockchain scalability, like Ethereum's ongoing upgrades and cheaper Layer 2 networks, will slash costs and make NFTs practical for everyday micro-uses. However, challenges remain. Regulation must mature, user experience must get far simpler, and public trust needs rebuilding after the crash. Some experts predict NFTs will follow the internet's own path, dismissed after the dot-com bust, then quietly becoming essential. In 5 years, we likely won't call them NFTs anymore. They'll just be how digital ownership works. So, what do you think? Are NFTs a passing fad or the future of digital ownership? Drop your thoughts and questions in the comments below. I read every single one. If this helped NFTs finally make sense, smash that subscribe button for weekly crypto education from Aurelian Wealth. And tell me what topic you want me to break down next.